Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 16 millimeter film crew. I'm Cindy.
And I'm Dale.
This week, we have watched The Odyssey, directed by Christopher Nolan. Odysseus, king of Ithaca, embarks on a perilous journey to return home after the Trojan War. Crossing the Mediterranean Sea with his fellow soldiers, they soon find themselves battling not only the elements, but an array of deadly obstacles and mythical creatures along the way. So this movie stars Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Annie Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Samantha Morton, Zendaya, and Charlize Theron. So we've been gone for a while and now we're back and let's get into this bad boy. Dale.
Um, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I This movie, I mean, you gotta expect greatness from Nolan. At this point in his career, with the stuff work he's done, you cannot count him out. I'm not gonna honestly lie for a bit. The initial trailers and stuff like that, and some information I was getting in regards to it before I saw it, even before it released globally. I'm not gonna lie, I was not feeling the idea or feeling really feeling this movie at all. But then watching it and coming out of it, I was like thoroughly blown away. In and as the last act is going, and there's a scene where he's talking to uh Penelope. And that's the point where everything, like, I'm already enjoying the movie, but the metatextual stuff, that's when all that stuff kind of clicked for me. And I find myself like really going, oh, between Oppenheimer and the Odyssey, Nolan is telling us something. Like, and that is the last act of the movies when everything like thematically like tying those two movies together for me clicked. And that realizing that connection like increased my love for this movie. I love when directors take concepts like that and expound upon them in tangential stories, but you're not aware because, of course, Oppenheimer was a biography, based on a book as well. Oppenheimer, I mean, Odyssey, of course, is based on Odyssey. We all read the Odyssey in school, but to find the plot through of both those books and concepts and stories and put them together cinematically, amazing. Like chef's kiss. Like Nolan's on a different intellectual level compared to a lot of these other directors that cannot be topped at all.
Yeah. What was the through line? I mean, I think I have an idea, but I wonder what it was for you.
For me, it was the fact that he's kind of talking about, and I got notes.
Yes.
Like the movie, like they're both mirrors of each other. Like the Odyssey is like a thematic continuation of Oppenheimer. You know, the atomic bomb is much like the Trojan horse. It's reversible, catastrophic with the things that it caused and the reckoning of it. Odysseus talks about how that social covenant of treating people you don't know kindly was destroyed once they created the Trojan horse, which was supposed to be offering to the gods, and they bastardized that. The creation of a atomic bomb is the same thing. Both Oppenheimer had to live with the weight of creating an atomic bomb. He ends up calling himself. He's become death, destroyer of the world. Odysseus, becomes melancholy, and his journey almost thematically kind of becomes his penance for realizing what he did. Where at the end, he's also saying, "What if I didn't want to come home, knowing the damage my actions has caused us culturally as a society?" Like the struggle between the despair and optimism of what the world might become, knowing these horrors exist, and the hope that maybe someday, seeing the horrors of the atomic bomb, we'll never try it again, or through his son, maybe the Greeks and the Mediterranean region will return to its bronze age once again.
Hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it now. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing about Chris Nolan is like he's not gonna make a bad movie, so it's not
yeah.
you can't be like, I thought this movie was really good. Like you, when I saw the trailers and stuff, I wasn't 100% sold on it, and I wasn't really. 100% sold on like a film adaptation of this story starring Matt Damon. Like I just was like, this feels like it's gonna be long. This feels like it's gonna be kind of boring. And I definitely wasn't bored. And actually, I didn't even really feel the runtime like I usually do with these longer movies. It kind of went by without me really realizing that. And I think that's just like the skill of knowing where to place those bigger action pieces to kind of keep people's attention going. I think that was a very smart way, like the way that they intentionally placed those pieces in there, where it's good because it's like, okay, as soon as I found myself a little fit, it was like, here's the battle. I was like, okay, I'm back in. You caught
Hmm.
me. Um, Although I think this movie is really good, I left the theater not really feeling much.
Hmm.
I think I felt way more when I watched Oppenheimer. And I was really like thinking like why that was, like why was it that I felt so much more emotionally invested in that than I did in this? And I'm thinking maybe it's just because Oppenheimer felt closer to home. It didn't happen that long ago, and it is based on real people and it's on real events, and it very much was felt like it was mirroring exactly what we were going through at that moment. So maybe that's why. And I maybe I just find Killian Murphy just emotionally, like I feel maybe more emotionally invested in him as an actor than I do with Matt Damon. But
Yes. Yeah.
so I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna work it out through this podcast to see
Yeah.
why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I felt like as far as performances, I do think your title character, Matt Damon, was not really a draw for me. I do feel like Matt Damon gets a lot of roles, like based on his perceived level of fame or talent.
Mm,
Like I don't think he might probably be the best option for this movie. To me, he wasn't like compared to the performances of every other actor. Like Robert Pattinson can play a sleazy bastard so fucking well and
mm-hmm.
make you want to hate him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then you have the chemistry between him and Tom Holland, who of course have done two other movies together, so the chemistry's there. Right off the bat, him and Anne Hathaway just hit it running. Where I think,
Mm-hmm.
if just based on this movie, I do think Anne Hathaway's performance, she should get Best Actress nods. Like her performance and the emotional range she projected in this role, I do think she should be up there for Best Actress nods come this award season. John Leguizamo slept on as hell as a performer. I read somebody online that said John Leguizamo should be every ninth grade English teacher's favorite actor based on his work in Romeo and Juliet and this movie. Like that man has so much range, and I do think people will probably like the only other time I really saw him kind of give somewhat range, but not was one of the John Wick film he was in. But other than that, John Leguizamo is mostly known as a comedic actor. But when you give him a chance with a role like this, like Chef's Kiss, like so perfect. You felt for him like once, because he's a blind man, but near the end where he's being to a pulp, and, he's crying out for Odysseus' return, like you felt that.
Mm-hmm.
Those pangs. He's complaining like, "Don't hurt my dog." Like you felt that. Like John Leguizamo, massive props. Like amazing. Like especially the rest of the supporting cast. Like um his leading captain for the army. The only other project I forgot his name, but the only project I remember seeing him on was Yesterday, which is kind of basically time travel shenanigans, and he somehow comes up with all the Beatles songs and becomes a famous writer. That was the only other project I saw him in, but him taking over in this role, like, and then a lot of the bit characters you do see, like, uh, I saw the guy who jumps into the sirens water. I remember watching him as one of the doctors in the Good Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I instantly recognize or talk about Hades. Like, oh, I was like, that's Dave Bautista right there. Like, like,
I didn't even know
like,
that was Dave
like,
Bautista.
like you like the fact that everybody was like, oh, this is Nolan. Everybody showed up even for bit roles. Like that
Yeah.
just shows you how the industry like reveres this man. Like I'm willing to take 2 minutes of dialogue just to be here. Like Elliot Page
Mm-hmm.
as well. Zendaya to a degree, even though she's kind of she's featured a lot more. She got like what 15 minutes of screen time, but still, doing that. Oh, Lupita Nyong'o as well. John
Mm.
Berthal and Tom Holland got some nice ass chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for. I
I know.
was
I'm
iffy.
actually
I
this
was
this
iffy.
movie made me hype for Spider-Man.
I
Isn't
was
that
iffy.
funny?
Yeah, I was iffy on Spider Man, but like, dang, they got it. They got that thing. So I'm interested, but I can't like this movie. Like I don't know. Like after I sat there, I thought about it. Like hit everything I want from a movie, and I can't deny
Mm.
it.
Yeah. I think like that's the thing. It's like this movie was really good. Like there were so many pieces. My favorite parts were one, the score. That man Ludwig.
Ludwig, ooh,
I I was literally sitting there just being like, I don't like this man is on a different level. He
different.
has not made a score that's been even subpar ever.
He don't miss.
Even on movies that don't even matter, like that aren't that great, he's still giving 110%. Like, I love people like that. He is amazing.
Mm,
That score was beautiful. The cinematography obviously was gorgeous because it's Hoyta. Like it's obviously gonna be
obviously,
gorgeous.
yeah.
But also the costume design,
Mm,
magnificent. To me,
mm,
honestly, that was my favorite part. Like Loki, I was just like, dang, everyone looks so good. And it wasn't just like Anne Hathaway in her dresses or anything like the armor that certain characters had,
mm.
like Benny Safdie is oh, what's his name?
Agamemnon.
Agamemnon. His armor?
Yes,
I want that. I want that
yes,
armor.
yes, yes.
I want that hanging up in my room. Like unbelievable. I
Mm,
loved how that the costuming looked. Charlize Theron, she was like in the water in nature, so all of her outfits reflected that. The fishnet, like whatever that was, over. I don't know what that was. Pullover, like she just looked amazing. Everyone was just Lupita. Let me tell you something about Lupita Nyong'o. The way that the right was losing their damn minds over this woman being in this movie because she was playing Helena Troy. That girl, y'all wish y'all had 1/10 of her talent and looks. Like
yes,
she
yes,
looked fantastic. Even when they
yes.
gave her that bruise joint on the side, she still looked good. She was still eating. And I like that her and her sister had different looks so you can distinguish between which character was which and what you were looking at. Like y'all don't y'all don't know nothing about her, okay? Like you everyone
Look,
who has something to say, sit yourselves down because she ate as she always eats. Never given a bad performance ever. Like y'all wish.
and it's not even that. It's also the costuming as well. Like the characters and their costuming contrast so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like Matt Damon as Odysseus, his costuming, even as a king, it's really plain. Like he values his intelligence. He's not it's not gaudy, not show offy. That goes down to Nicholas Tom Holland's character, his son. Well, that same sensibility. If you look at all his wardrobe, it's more like a Henley pants, boots, and they're like
Mm-hmm.
dark colors. Comparatively to you look at the characters of I'm gonna mess up his last name. Uh uh Robert Pattinson's friend, who's another noble black guy, what
Oh
was in
yeah, I know
Sinners,
him. Mm-hmm.
Corey Hawkins,
Corey
Corey
Hawkins,
Hawkins.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
both of them, they're ornate in their gold and stuff, showing off their status and stuff. Where he's the actual prince, he's not doing that. Anne Hathaway in those either red or blue flowing gowns. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like even like the armor of the soldiers. And I remember people comparing this because everybody's seen the Odyssey with Brad Pitt,
Oh, Troy.
and Eric Bana Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's in Troy. Everybody's like, "Oh, look how colorful Troy is. Why isn't this movie colorful?" And after, like I said, realizing the thematic concept of the movie, I understand why in those set photos everything is so drab. Like because it fits thematically. It's about despair. Despair is
Mm-hmm.
not going to be brightly colored. All the soldiers are like in black armor. They even mentioned being on the beach for like 10 years. The only time you see color in the armor are the Trojans who are in white, or when there's flashbacks to before the war and stuff, where you see Odysseus when he before he gets shipped off, interacting with the younger the nobles and their sons. Everybody's wearing yellows, so purples, the blues, really colorful. But
Hmm.
since that time, color is gone. The joy and light from the world is gone. I love those kind of touches from a director.
Yeah. It just shows how much thought everyone was
Mm,
putting into telling the story in their own specific way to really
mm,
bring everything to
yeah,
life. I also just love that Mia Goth was just there being messy. I
yeah,
loved that.
I love that.
She was maybe my favorite character because she was just there, like just being an agent of chaos. And I was
Yeah,
like, I love this. I love that she was there and she was paired up with Rob because they've worked together before. So again, I think what I love about this movie is that so many actors have worked together either in Chris's movies or in other films. So
mm,
all of the chemistry is there.
mm,
And I really enjoyed them playing off of each other. I thought that was really fun. Honestly, Rob and Tom's chemistry
mm,
may be my favorite part of the movie. I
yeah,
loved their back and forth. I
yeah,
thought it was so good. And I felt like the tension was always there, but it was also like tension with a little wink.
mm.
Like, I don't know. It was more of like a
It was like
older brother, little brother kind of thing.
yeah,
Like,
older brother, little brother, because I guess what Robert's Dragon's supposed to be about 10 years older.
mhm,
And then it's also a little intellectual battle. Like the real battle is the battle for the throne. I'm the prince. I want the throne. I want
mhm.
to marry your mother and can kill you. So there's a
Yeah.
little in their barbs. There's a little. It's not a. It's a mental sword fight going on.
Yeah, and I love watching Rob in movies. I'm so happy that he is like just doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, those are my three favorite parts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the story itself was really good, but the story itself is also like you were saying how it mirrors Oppenheimer, where it's like this is the cost of war, and the people who we exalt as heroes
Mm-hmm.
really are like again agents of destruction. Like, what do you
Yeah.
think about it? Because it's for pride, it's reasons. It's
Yeah.
like I feel like I must do this as king of Ithaca or whatever, not thinking about the cost. Like the fact that I have a son who doesn't know who I am. I have a wife who is like being in run with all of these weirdos who's just in her house. Like, and I liked Anne's I watched the movie, but then I watched an interview afterwards, and the way that she was talking about her character was like she loves her son, but she also like doesn't want to lose him. Like she's upset that she can't just rule outright, even though she has been ruling outright,
Mm-hmm.
basically, or
Yeah.
maybe subtly, for about 20 years now. Like she's upset because her husband's gone. She has a lot of anger, and I think that does come out kind of in those later scenes with her and Tom, because you would be like, okay, well, if you don't want these people here, just kick them out, right? But like she can't do that because she feels bound by what is it, Zeus's law, or
This is all. Yeah.
bound by all these traditions, bound by her to like just being a woman in this setting. And I think the way that he displayed women in this movie was interesting. I think he gives them depth in terms of like I think those characters in that book specifically were demonized because it's like, oh, one's a witch and one kept him away from his wife for 9 years or 7 years or however long it was. Um, Athena's a god, but or goddess, but she won't like plainly tell him what he needs to know in order to get home. Like there was like demonization of those characters, and I think in this movie he does give them a lot more space to be multi-layered and also like to have some sympathy. I, I guess my thing is I would really love him to just make a movie where a woman is starring in the main role.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love Chris Nolan, all of his movies center men. Like, and I'm not saying like it's about men. I mean, it's like men are
Men are
physically
centered. Yeah.
men
Yeah.
are physically the leads of these movies.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him really give that a shot, even though I think the women who are in his movies are always very complex. I would just love to see him just actually make a movie that's about a woman. That would be cool. Because even in this, like, I didn't love the fact that Zendaya was basically like a video girl. She was just kind of there. She would
Mm-hmm.
say a couple of stuff and then go away.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be an issue if this was the only time that that's happened. that's happened multiple times at other movies where she has been present. Like, it kind of seems like the only time she gets to like be front and center is in Euphoria. Like, I don't know. It's a little weird to me how that keeps happening. I'm not really sure how I feel about that one, but okay. She looks great. But other than that, the actual story,
Yeah,
the actual movie,
yeah.
I did think was really good. And I liked that I was kind of iffy on like the shifting of times, like where we're at in the story. But then eventually I was like, no, this makes sense because
Yeah.
it all kind of comes together. And I think that the points that he was trying to make in this movie, not only about like what's important in life, which is your family, and I think that he eventually gets there, and like the pridefulness of like wanting the pride and the glory of going off to war and doing these heroic things really does end up causing more damage to you and to everyone else around you and
Mhm.
to everything. Like so many people got impacted after this war. And I think they show that through Lupita's character. I think they show that they were Agamemnon because he, eh. And I think it shows obviously through Tom, through Annie, and also through Rob's character. Weirdly, I ended up feeling sympathy for him too because he, as a child, really just wanted to also be a part of that.
What the men were doing.
What the men were doing, that glory, he felt like that was his purpose, and so did Odysseus, but he was not chosen, and that
Well,
resentment that
no,
he felt.
he was chosen, but his father
Didn't they
uh
swap the little?
they swapped the totem of
Yeah.
selection with Simeon's character,
Hmm.
and Simeon was actually like, I want to go because of course this is a known thing that we even have now, these issues with some political leaders and some people of rich and status. When there's a draft, we have, a president who was also a draft dodger as well, who got out of it. So
Mm.
that's always the issue. The people, the rich and powerful, when it comes time to actually do the thing, the honorable thing, and serve the way they say everybody should serve, they're able to circumvent the system in a way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But I liked how that it created the resentment in him that made him what he is right now. Um, and the way that he kind of plays his kind of pursuit of Anne was interesting because it's like at first he's kind of just like one of the guys. He's not trying to be super evil. It's just that like as time goes on and he sees the real threat that Telemachus is, he's like, you know what?
I'm fed up.
Actually, I got to step things up and I have to
Yeah,
go sicko mode. Speaking of that, Travis Scott is in this movie because sure,
yeah.
it was always distracting because I'm like, well, that's Travis Scott. Like that, what is he doing here? But I think that like where he's coming from, like I understood like why he ended up in the place that he did. Um, but yeah, I think he definitely he took it too far. And also Corey Hawkins just being an insane person. The worst part of this movie was the treatment of the dogs.
Yeah.
They threw that dog off the cliff. Like, excuse me?
The
That
little
was
puppies,
crazy.
the little
He
puppies.
just tossed it right off of the yeeted that thing off of the cliff. Like, I can't forgive Chris for that. That was crazy. The dogs deserved better than that.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, it's interesting because it's like the journey, the hero's journey that Odysseus goes on. It is trying to show like how making certain choices really ends up affecting your life and like how terrible war is and everything. But he's still like very when he comes back, like and everyone finds out who he is, it's still that maybe not hero worship, but it is a I wouldn't even say it's just respect. I think it's like another level of like love and servitude from everyone else who like kneels to him and whatever. So I don't know if the point was supposed to be just like good people with good intentions mess up, but like they're still really good and should be admired. I'm not really, or like, I'm not really sure how I feel about the ending. I don't know. What do you think?
I thought the ending makes sense. I like you said before, the issue, the female or the women in the story, I do think they're showcased a lot better in this than in other works. When people want to adapt Homer or whatever, I feel like they're just the women are there. They're not a part of the plot. I do like the fact that Nolan, even though more could be done, like Zendaya's kind of as Athena, kind of like a therapist. I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
what you need to do, but I want you to work it out. Calypso there with Charlize Theron, she's there as not so much of a jailer, but the side of you when you've done something and you just want to forget and not deal with it, you want to suppress it, eating the lotus. Like I just don't want to deal with what I have. I know I'm supposed to be go home, but I don't want to face the damage I've caused. I know I've done some horrible things. So I just want to stay here and forget. And then of course, Penelope. She's that key, that emotional, driving force we all have as far as our intrinsic need to do good or want to do good. So
Mm,
I do think the women in the movie did help showcase those different aspects of humanity and almost kind of dealing with um almost grief in a way.
mm,
So I did love that in those performances. I do think more could have been done with them, a bit more, screen time, but given that they also it's about Odysseus
yeah, that's
and
the
the
thing.
stuff and the stuff happening at
It's his
home.
story.
I
Yeah,
can
it's his story.
I can understand why those things were taken. Um and it all goes back to like honor. Like
Mm,
Sinon was like, I trusted you. Like I believed you and you let me die. But it's like, oh, but I was there right beside you. I heard everything. It's like that's not a comfort for me. Like I trusted you with my life. I honor and I think that's one of those things in going to Hades and dealing with his men that uh Odysseus realizes, oh, the things I say and I do have weight. Like all through the whole thing of them trying to get back, you hear him and his first captain like, oh, you knew what was gonna happen. You didn't tell us. And I was like, oh, if I told you, you wouldn't have done it. Like
hmm
y'all would have said, F it, we'll just go through the whirlpool. Like, no, to get home, some of y'all gonna have to die. Y'all would not have accepted that. Like he abdicates his responsibility as a leader to ensure the outcome he wants. And which is once again him and then him watching his men die also is another form of penance for having did the same thing to the Trojans with his Trojan horse idea. But
hmm
and I also think all those male characters who've either returned home or are too old to go to war showcase I think a societal issue that we kind of do have. If I sound sexist with it, I apologize, but I do think it is important for young men to have positive male influences, and I do
Not
think
sexist at all.
I mean, some people would. It's kind of, I do think it's kind of hard for a woman to, or certain things a woman cannot teach a man to do.
I agree. Yeah.
Um, and I
hmm
think that's one of the things, like all those men now in his house trying to marry his wife, all those were young men when he left
Yeah.
with their fathers for war. And
hmm
you see how the lack of, positive influence for those men turn them into the way they do. Like the movie mentions their elders, council elders who are forcing her to remarry. But those council elders are also too old and too wise. It's kind of like the stuff we have in this country where we have older leaders dictating their influence on what younger generation should do, and then you also have the younger generation not having, proper leadership or guidance at all because they're like, this is how things are, and it's just going to continue to be that way. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what
yeah,
that's exactly what I was feeling when I was watching Corey's character. I'm like, oh, you're so lost. It's really
yeah,
sad.
yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree with that. And yeah, I feel like I'm gl ultimately I'm glad this was made because I do think that there are so many relevant themes that kind of coincide with what we're experiencing today.
Mm,
And maybe it's more easily accessible if you're watching it through a movie to kind of pick up on it and receive
mm,
it than if someone's just like scolding you and telling you like this is the way things need to be or whatever. So I think that was really good. Um, Lastly, I'll just say I loved there's a couple scenes that I just loved. One was when
Mm.
they're all holed up in the Trojan horse
Mm.
for days. And I think Chris said that he didn't know how to shoot that. He just got in there with the guys and we're just like, let's figure it out. That's
Mm.
amazing. Because I felt how uncomfortable it was
Mm. Yeah,
watching it.
the claustrophobia of it all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The boat scenes where Poseidon is like kicking them around and those boat scenes were all of them were great, but especially that one where they're like in
Mm.
the storm. That was beautifully shot. That was so good. All the cave stuff with the Cyclops, that was great. I think I'm not trying to remember. Oh, the scene where you were actually seeing them invade Troy.
Mm.
That whole battle sequence was so beautifully done.
Mm.
And even in the voiceover when he's kind of walking you through just like his thought process and how he felt about it at the time while you're seeing these images, that was just great. That was phenomenal. I don't love the challenge scene at the end. I think it went on a little too long, but
Yeah.
I do love the emotion. That performance that he's giving him and Annie together, that was an amazing scene that they
Yeah.
were just sharing together. Um, and Tom is so good at all the stunt stuff, so he was just like he was killing it. But yeah, I do agree that like all the performances were like so good. It'll be interesting to see when it comes Oscar time or award
Yeah.
season, like who will get picked for what pieces. Um, I would love it if Rob got something because he does just play that maniacal, evil little weasel kind of guy, and I don't know. I
So
want something
well.
for him.
So
He does
well.
it so
So
good. I just
well.
want
So
something
well.
for him because I think he really,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I love everything about the movie, and you hit the nail on the head. And we've been kind of talking about it a bit on like how even a lot of the stuff in it are also still relevant to today. Um, like somebody made like the comment of if you look at Agamemnon's armor, how his spine is gold, you know, and how you, he as a father was going to sacrifice his child to
Mm.
bring himself more power. Somebody likened it onto a lot of um how should I phrase this properly without offending people? Fuck it. Like how a lot of these MAGA fathers and stuff like that are voting toward these really draconian laws in regards to women, basically essentially sacrificing their daughter because they themselves have no spine. So through this they have their own artificial spine of manliness or whatever, like that kind of thing. And somebody else mentioned taking it back to the movie constantly always talks about how everybody's mentioning, oh, these people from the sea are raiding and pillaging villages and no one knows who it is. So this Greek man discussed the concept like, oh, even though you know Matt Damon and his soldiers are Greek and the people he are pillaging are Greek, it showcases him not understanding them, meaning that social connection they have no longer exists. And it also talks about how now that all these different traders and stuff are talking about attacks, because let's be honest, if like for the Greeks were a really seafaring race and in society and culture, the fact that I love that they explained, yeah, we've been lost at sea for like 5 years because of Zeus on a trip that would have been taking like 2 to 4 weeks is hilarious. It is hilarious to me. But the fact that they were pillaging all across the Mediterranean, landing in different places, they probably even landed at their own home. They didn't know that and pillaged the family at one point. The fact that they were doing that goes once again that they were a threat that they created. The people from the sea are attacking foreign lands and in different societies and cultures, like they themselves were attacking everybody. Um, and someone also contextualized not the Homer, the Odyssey and the Iliad, which is Trojan, the War of Troy, as Agamemnon likened it. He likened it onto stuff that's happening now. Uh, it was basically a war for the rights to trade, a trade access, trade ports. You got Russia and Ukraine. They're at it because Russia wants access to the sea that they don't have access to, and of course the U.S. and Iran, they want access to the Strait, Strait of Hormuz. And they said, yeah, if you look at a map, Troy sat on a water route, like a trade, like a port almost. And so Agamemnon he kind of said he used the auspices of his brother's wife leaving to have a reason to go to war. I loved how people are able to, still pull out modern concepts and stuff to an ancient tale. That's like this story is like almost 3,000 years old. And I love that. And I think that's the one of the things I do love about Homer, I love about Shakespeare and stuff. There are so many things that we can still apply to modern understanding and modern society that happened back then. Like somebody said, it's the same beats of war and peace over and over. It's a waltz. All these things are cyclical. Like it happened back then, almost 30,000 years ago. It's the same thing happening right now. So I do love analyzing the movie from those standpoints.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
And also like the wars in uh with well, Russia's invasion of Ukraine and our invasion with Israel's invasion, well, yeah, war in Iran. It is very much like it's like a posturing, like I'm the most powerful, so I get to dominate you,
yeah,
whether there's a valid reason or not.
yeah.
And you just think about like the amount of damage that has come from not only those wars, but also what Israel's doing in Gaza. Like, just people just feeling like they have the right because they're superior,
Mm-hmm.
and how much that ruins people's lives, but also how much like environmental damage that actually is doing. Like, I don't know if y'all have experienced this heat wave that we've been going through. Like, our environment is freaking falling apart right now because I don't know,
Yeah,
they keep dropping bombs on people. Like they keep like like all of that material is like going right back into our atmosphere. Like that stuff is gonna kill us too
yeah. And that
if
and
these guys won't.
yeah. And that goes back to the whole Zeus's law thing they were talking about, like treating people as equals.
Right.
Love thy brother. Love your neighbor. Every religion has a commandment like that, whether you're Christian or whatever. Everybody's always talking about honoring your neighbor, and like I like this. There's a scene where Temecula and Odysseus are talking, and he tells him, "Don't look for gods and men; you'll be disappointed." But that goes through the experience he's had. It kind of goes to his views on life and gods for Odysseus. They changed after the Warren Voyage. His words kind of meant don't look for the divine in like normal people, like because people are infallible. Like
Mm.
don't look for a person to lead you because these people like me will lead you to ruin. And then it also another step is like don't look for gods among men. Basically, treat people as your equal, no matter not knowing what status they have. Because like the person you seem as like worse. And I think about the best way I can contextualize that is think about back in middle school or high school, whatever, where the nerdy kid wasn't always the best dressed kid. But you look at them now, a lot of the kids people made fun of for one point for different things, they're really successful people. You don't know who these people will turn out to be based on their current perceived status. So you treat everybody as equal. So I love those kind of things that Nolan's able to like. He pulls so much from the Odyssey, like
Well, yeah, this is the Odyssey.
so yeah. So I mean, like he pulls so much that you can like contextualize um for easier. Like let's be honest, modern culture, modern society, we have a very short attention span, but he kind of gave us a life lesson in a movie format. The one thing I don't like about what's happening is people are stupid. And they're saying, hey, don't spoil the movie. My boy, the Odyssey has been out for a long time. If you did not read it in school, that is your fault because they probably did read it in school. You failed to pay attention. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it this is just how it came off to me. It's not really a complaint, but it does feel like you are watching like a very like a play
Yeah.
of this story because
Yeah.
it from my understanding of like what happens in the book, it does kind of play kind of beat for beat, and
Yeah.
because he's able to, you know, create these have the technology to create, the Cyclops and all these different things. Like you get to visually experience everything that was written down in the book I mean, it's a poem, but yeah, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does feel like it kind of feels like what I imagine in the end of Hamnet when she's
Mhm.
watching her, like what was supposed to be her son, her past son, like perform like everything that Shakespeare wasn't able to say. Like it kind of that's kind of how I felt watching this movie, where I was just like, yeah, I see the vision and I see how personal it is. Like it does feel like you're watching a story about your life or like
Yeah.
a play about your life or something like that.
Yeah. 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 Doing like yeah.
Mhm.
This is instantaneously best picture um nominee. Like the awards this movie is going to pull in is incredible, especially effects. Like this, a lot of this movie was physical
Mm,
effects. Like I watched behind the scenes the thing where they were shooting in Iceland for
mm,
for Hades
great, yeah.
for
Mm,
and they were like, yeah, we actually had a lot of the actors like in the dirt using snorkels and we timed it so they pop off on the ground physical. They made a giant puppet for the Cyclops.
mm.
Like, come on, like no, like come on. I love the fact that no one's like, I'm not gonna use green screen and CGI. We doing this physical, and I think his use of physical effects also helps ground a lot of his movies in realism a bit more. Like it makes it more believable,
Yeah,
you know.
because you're
So
acting against real things,
yeah,
so everything feels real. Like they had someone in like a jet, like a little boat, just like like doing donuts in the water just to create the the sinkhole like scene. Like that's great. Like that's so smart. And they use like um men like stunt doubles who were very small so they can get the scale of the
the
Cyclops for the
Cyclops,
soldiers to
yeah.
look so they can kind of get that perspective. I'm like,
They did the same
come
thing with
on.
the giants they had to fight as well. And
Yes.
so yeah,
I love that scene too. That was a great scene.
they use a lot of forced
Mm.
perspective with that. You
Yeah.
know, like no one needs to teach a class on filmmaking for real. Like the
He
things he
should.
does, the things he does, no other director does. But yeah,
But I really, and that's the thing, what I like, and I don't know if we'll talk about this later, but one of the things that I saw this morning when I was reading just, the news stuff was that like people came to this movie because of him.
yeah.
Like, despite the plethora of A-list actors who were involved in this movie, like he is the reason why people came out to watch it.
Oh
And I know my
yeah,
theater was packed too. Like, and I came for the same reason. Like, honestly, if someone else had directed this, I don't think I would be that interested, no matter who was in the movie.
and
It's literally
and
because of him that I went
yeah,
to go see it.
and that's the thing now. I think people need to recognize we're not going anymore really for an actor. Like
Mm.
I saw the trailer for Digger in this, and I was like, okay,
Mm.
it's Tom Cruise, all right, maybe. But then I saw the trailer, and then through watching the trailer, I was like, okay, I know what the movie's about, and I want to watch it.
Hmm.
The Brad Pitt movie. I literally looked to my homeboy like, Brad Pitt is probably a terrible father, but man, that man can act. I want to watch this. I want to watch this movie. There are very few actors who go to a movie say, I want to watch their role. Nowadays, it's more so I want to watch insert directors here movie, or I want to watch this Batman movie or this Spider-Man movie. Like you want to watch a character more, a lot less the performance of the actor.
Yeah, or like what's been happening recently where you have movies like Obsession or Backroom where you're just hearing about it. Like people are just talking about it and you're like, okay, everyone's saying this movie is good. I gotta check it out. Like I like that that exists and things like this exist. Because to be honest, like Tom Cruise, I have beef with him. So I am only seeing that movie because it's Alejandro Inarritu.
Yeah,
Again, a director-led movie. I'm not seeing the Brad Pitt movie. I don't care. He'll still make a lot of money.
yeah,
Like for me, it is like definitely director-led. It's rarely actor-led. But I also am loving movies that are just like young directors coming out of nowhere, making really cool stuff that everyone's talking about. Like I'm so into that. So I like that there's space for both now, where it kind of just seemed like for a long time, like the studios and everyone were like really banking on these actors to sell these films, or they were banking on the IP and the characters to sell films. And I feel like the tide is sort of changing back to what it used to be, where it's like you're going to see this movie because of this director,
Yeah,
or you're seeing it because of just word of mouth.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's also helping them. Like I do call, even though I'm not a fan of streaming, I do view this now a bit as almost an artistic renaissance because it's more
Mm,
direct, it's more director, more auteur led.
yes.
Um, you get you directors are now given the brevity and the chance to take leaps creatively, which draws the audience in even more. You know,
Hmm.
I do think the way to save like film, I mean, even the ones that are in theaters or in streaming, is this advent of directors getting more and more creative agency in their projects. It's not as much less data driven. Oh, what's trending? We need to copy that because
Right.
we've seen in the past where they have a concept like, oh, what's trending? We got to imitate that by the studio heads. And then the director goes, okay, cool, we can create something based on what's trending. And their version of it would probably still gravitate a lot more to audiences, but it's those behind the scenes producers like, no, we need it to be exactly like this. And when they release the movie, it it bombs.
Hmm.
Perfect example. I love James Gunn, the creative head of DC. But right now, Supergirl is like being panned.
Yeah.
Supergirl's an okay movie, but the fact that they, for some reason, creatively and um behind the scenes, studios only want to say show female empowerment in one way, it's asinine. I mean, you could still look at Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is still a good movie, but there are still flaws in it as well because they're sticking to a tried and true method of depicting um womanhood, their agency, and women female empowerment in just one specific way. And when you throw all the other superhero movie concepts into it, it gets kind of hokey, like in Supergirl. So yeah,
Yeah, I think you can't really beat people over the head with certain things. I think, I don't know. I feel like if you know what you're trying to do, you know what you're trying to say, everything will come out. Like you were just describing all of the layers of this movie. Like I feel like if you know what you have, all of those layers are gonna come out.
yeah,
But if you're trying to chase a thing, like if you're trying to chase just a topic that's popular, like yeah, it's not gonna come out authentic because it's not.
yeah.
So I think we're sort of like you're saying in a renaissance, especially this post like streaming superhero juggernaut. Like now that we're moving away from that, it does feel like we're getting back to something like good
Mm-hmm.
and interesting and like that is exciting people. Like the event movie, like people actually wanting to go to the movie theater, spending. I mean, I there were no IMAX screenings
None,
for me.
none
I
for
could not
me.
see this movie.
We had to
Christopher
go at
Nolan,
like
we have beef.
12.
I have beef with you for that
Like,
because what the heck? You're making this movie with IMAX cameras, and I cannot find one IMAX screening. So you know what? I'm pissed about that because I did want to see an IMAX, but
look,
whatever.
that is also IMAX's fault because the CEO is like, yeah, these things is like 20 years old. We don't build new cameras, we just fix them. And I understand because I remember when the concept of IMAX first came out, they were mostly in like museums and and basically they were like kids field trips, go to school. Hey, we're going to school. We're gonna anybody want to go watch IMAX movie? It's an educational thing. And then somehow it went from that to, oh, as a director saw like, oh, I can shoot on this and made movies. And they're just like, well, okay, cool. I guess we can make some for some movie theaters, you know. So I do think it's like I do think like because the director and the creator of IMAX they're making their money because they're giving the directors these cameras, but the projectors, like they said, like oh these projectors are like 20 years old, we don't make them anymore because they're expensive, so we just repair the ones we got. Like I think that's a horrible money making thing because you could probably still make it. It gives me very much McDonald's and the McFlurry machine is broken kind of thing because the McDonald's themselves can't repair the McFlurry machines. They have to call a certain company to repair them, and they make their money just on repairing the McFlurry machines. You know, at this point, IMAX, yeah, we're not making new IMAX projectors. We're making our money on theaters calling us to repair them. That kind of thing.
It's very annoying. It's very
Yes,
annoying
very annoying.
because what it means is that I'm gonna have to like find some screening of this or the Dune movie because they bought up all of it. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to get these tickets like months in advance. And I'm not into that. So whatever. Um, but anyways, yeah, it's exciting for people to be excited about going to movies again. And I feel like this year has definitely been like, we're excited, we're out here, and I love that. I
Mm-hmm.
think that hopefully something's turning. I feel a turnaround. I
Mm-hmm.
do. I feel it. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Box office stuff. Yeah. Haven't done that in a while.
Rocket.
Okay. So the merger we've been talking about for like the last couple months, almost past couple years, as far as the shifting tides of Hollywood is, everybody merges into everything, and basically one group of people own your whole life. The same people who say complain about fake news are controlling the fake news.
Hmm.
Ironic. So a federal judge has temporarily halted Paramount and Warner Brothers merger, citing antitrust laws. I was waiting from the moment this idea happened for one of these federal judges, like, no, I'm putting in an injunction and stop this because this is clearly antitrust. It's antitrust, is anti-competitive, and anti-consumer.
Hmm.
For one company, Paramount, which just bought CBS, which is now gonna Warner Brothers is gonna now own Warner Brothers, which is not just only Warner Brothers, it's also TNT as well. It's a whole Warner Brothers bought other companies as well. So it's like merging Paramount and Warner Brothers merges like 20 different entertainment avenues. That is tricky. I honestly wish there should have been probably stronger regulation to break those kind of mergers apart. Like
Yeah.
there's no reason for one company to own like half the entertainment industry. And it's not just films and TV. Warner Brothers also owns a number of record labels, so it's also your music as well. So
Mm. Yeah, this was stressing me out these last couple of weeks because Warner Brothers approved it, the Justice Department approved it. They were having some dealings over in the UK that seemed like they were gonna glide through that pretty smoothly. I'm not really sure what if they had landed on decision over there yet, but it kind of seemed like the Ellisons and whatever were just skating through.
mm,
No accountability, no one doing anything. People are just like, oh yeah, this is bad, but like what was actually being done? I was not seeing those things materialize. So I was getting nervous and I was just like, damn, is this really about to they're just about to away with this? Like this is crazy.
yeah,
And then finally, 12 states led by California filed an antitrust lawsuit.
yeah,
So, and then the judge did a temporary court restraining order. So we'll see in, I think it's 14 days what will
yeah,
happen. But it is really, I mean, the amount of stuff they would be able to, they would own
mm.
CNN, HBO,
P-
MTV, I like
TNT,
TNT, Cartoon Network,
Viacom, BET, Cartoon Network. Yeah,
like crazy, crazy, crazy. And it's even worse because they are so aligned with Trump, because that means that whatever they want to get made or they don't want to get made, it's literally up to them. And like who would when you own all of that stuff, like who's gonna stop you until you know? That's what I'm thinking. Like once the deal is done, it's done. Like
done.
there's
Yeah,
not like what I'm saying. There's nothing we can do about it when it gets to that point.
and
So I'm just like, please, can someone do something? Like,
and the irony of it is hilarious because when Paramount and CBS, well, Paramount bought out CBS, they redid 60 Minutes, they changed the whole newsroom, and everybody was like, the reporters like, oh, I'm leaving, I'm not still with this. They put somebody in
mhm.
charge, and then you look at the data, CBS was losing money, losing viewers and stuff like that because not if sponsors aren't gonna even advertise on the show that nobody wants to watch. So that should tell you that nobody really agrees with the messaging you're trying to do. So I don't why are you forcing on people that they think their way is right, like consequences, be damned. I'm not really surprised California led this charge. Like I'm not a big Gavin Newsom fan
Me either.
as some of the things he says, some of the things he does, but in this aspect of because this would affect a lot of jobs.
Yes.
A lot of jobs. Like already today, you have uh the Disney company, firing a lot of people, sports reporters from ABC and ESPN because Disney does want ESPN as well, and because they bought out the NFL Network from the NFL and gave the NFL a 5%, a 10% stake in ESPN. They have a lot of former athletes on ESPN program, particularly football athletes. Like Ryan Clark was fired like mid show. They told him they released him on an ad break and he didn't come back into the show. Like these are a lot
Mm.
of people's jobs that are also affected by these mergers just because they realize, oh, I'm not going to hit the bottom line. I'm actually going to go in debt. So I now need to slash. Because think about it, you're merging. That means you're buying the company. That means you're also taking on their debt. That means they're also taking on their payroll. And you want to break even. You want to break. We saw this with Warner Brothers and the Discovery merger, where
Mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers was more willing to experiment and go into debt for a little bit. But then with Discovery, they're like, we're used to a shoestring budget. This ain't gonna work. We're selling everything, So yeah.
Yeah, it's ooh, it's crazy. So I really hope that this works and that the judge sees this and is just like, no, no way you can go through this. I think I read something where like Paramount's trying to move out of California so they don't have to deal with this, but
Where are they gonna go? Where are they
we're
gonna
gonna
go?
go. I don't know.
You gonna go to New York?
Right, you're going to Mondanistown. I don't think that's gonna
Mm,
work for you there. Like,
yeah.
um, but apparently, like, if the longer this takes, they have to pay millions and millions of dollars to Warner Brothers. But I'm like, I don't care about your financial woes. Like, you shouldn't have
No.
taken this on in the first place. Like,
Yeah.
if you have to pay more, oh well. So yeah, we'll see where this goes, but fingers crossed it does not happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was next?
Avengers Endgame. Oh, that was just Doomsday trailer.
Avengers Doomsday. Oh yeah, okay. So yes, the Avengers Doomsday trailer has dropped today. Um, watched it. Did not realize that that was Downey's voice in the beginning. I guess that's the voice that he is choosing for this character. Okay. I have to
Mm-hmm.
go back and watch it again because I didn't know what I was hearing. I was like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love that the X-Men are a part of this. And
Yeah.
it's like the original X-Men. Like that does make me excited. I'm not gonna lie. Because was that my introduction? It was like Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, and the X-Men. That was really my doorway into like comic book film, superhero movies that I really came to love. But like that's my heart right there. So I am really excited that they're a part of the MCU. Um, we'll see how all the teams work together and what ends up happening. I don't know if I'm as invested in these group of folks as I was when the first Avengers Infinity War came out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say I was just because there were so many movies and so much years and time built into like us getting to know those core characters. So by the time that came around, it did feel the weight of that felt more like, I just felt more invested.
Yeah.
So I'm not there with these characters yet, so eh, but
I mean, we're
I'm
kind
gonna
of
still watch
there.
it.
We're kind of there a bit with the Fantastic Four a bit because their movie was really good. We've
Oh no, no,
we've
I wasn't talking about the quality. I just meant like time spent. Like
yeah,
because
yeah,
that movie came out what like yeah last year, maybe the
yeah.
year before that. So
Year before.
y'all are new, is what I'm saying. Like
Mhm.
you guys are new. I don't know you that well.
And that's also why they need to pull everybody back because the end with we all know Chris Hemsworth was going to. Well, this is my thing with Marvel. They should not have done a cast reveal thing
Yeah,
for this
it
movie.
ruins
It
it.
ruins it because then the
Like
impact
Chris
of
Evans.
yeah,
Come
the impact of Chris. They could have did Robert Downey Jr. becoming Doctor Doom. Fine,
on.
I'm good with that. Fine, fine, fine. But saying, hey, guess what? Chris Hemsworth. Everybody's gonna be in this movie, kind of like so that reveal at the end of the trailer where you see Cap come back. It loses its power. Like the fact he grabs Mjolnir. Like because okay, yeah, we knew he was gonna be in it. Like, great. You have Chris Evans basically Chris Hemsworth popping in as basically it seems like the trailer is making him the actual leader of the team
Right.
to a degree. We knew he was casted in already. So that reveal of him being there, doesn't hit the same. I do kind of like the fact that with with Doomsday, they've kind of soft reconned a bit of Love and Thunder because they knew it was
Mm.
bad in a way,
Mm-hmm.
especially his armor. I feel like him using his black armor is now akin to me as Spider-Man wearing his black suit. Like when Thor is in black, shit's about to go down. That means he's trying to kill somebody.
Mm.
He's not the quoting Shakespeare or his these and thous. It's like, no, I'm here to aim for the neck. And you go and drop. So I do love that switch because, yeah, I don't know, interested in it. I did realize the Mystique is not Rebecca Romaine. It's a different actress, and they haven't revealed who it is.
What?
Because that Mystique does not look like Rebecca Romaine's Mystique, and she didn't look like what's her face? What's her face? Katniss Everdeen. What's her name again?
Katniss Everdeen.
Um,
Jennifer Lawrence.
it didn't look her. The only aspect of looking like her Mystique was the actual like blotches and stuff on her face. I'm not sure who the actress is playing Mystique, but they did say that what I've heard so far, the plan for the next phase of Marvel, along with Spider-Man, is they're gonna still want to skew younger, with the cast, and people were complaining that okay, so Florence Pugh and Spider-Man are the two youngest people on the cast for this movie. Where are America Chavez? Where are all the younger heroes that you've introduced through all your stuff, Ironheart, all that stuff? They're not in there. Um, but they did say the plan was they want to skew younger, so um, and essentially they're going to when they restart everything again, the focus will be on the X-Men with a younger cast. Like they're gonna recast everybody, which is obvious. So, but yeah.
Rebecca Romaine is in that movie. Why
But
did you
she's
say
not
that she
that she's not
wasn't?
that Mystique though. See, that's not Rebecca Romaine's Mystique though.
Oh, maybe it was her stunt double.
So no, the makeup wasn't well, I don't know.
You had
We'll
me
see.
thinking that she was not in it at all. I was like,
But
hold
that's not her. I
on.
know what her Mystique looks like, and yes, I understand with the X-Men they're going with their more comic accurate costumes,
Yeah.
but
Mm,
the makeup on her face gave me really more. It was kind of a mix between her Mystique and Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique, but I could tell by the facial features and how the facial features are like that's not Rebecca Romaine at all.
mm.
So
Okay. Well, we'll see
yeah,
what happens.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not totally excited yet. Let me see how I feel about Spider-Man and then I'll see if I actually get hyped for it. I mean, I want to see it because I like the team ups. So I do want to see what happens. I'm a little nervous and I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe
yeah,
it's just because I've been burned so many times before. I'm just like, I don't know,
yeah,
but we'll see.
yeah.
Okay. World Cup. I think you have there. Is that Spain?
It's in Spain. It's in
Yeah.
Spain. It's in Spain.
España.
It's España. One of their jersey. I think it's their away jersey, not the home one. Home one was like $180. I ain't got a hundred. No, it's $109. Like I ain't got it. And
Yeah.
they're like, hey, you want to wear? You want the away jersey? Yeah, sure. $35. Bet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
taking
yeah,
it.
no, massive World Cup fan. Like I watching the final with some of my friends after we saw Oppenheimer, we went to a restaurant, got some food, and the game was on. They were like, "Is are all soccer games like this?" I was like, "Sometimes." I'm like, "Dang, I'm hooked now.
Mm.
I'm hooked." And I was like, "Yes." Like it's hard for the American mind to understand a 1-0 score being interesting, but they were engrossed. The whole bar is like cheering and booing when stuff's happened. Like that is soccer. Like it's not just hey, you score a touchdown, I score a touchdown, I don't score a touchdown. It's literally like a chess match of people and a test of wills, which I love watching it. So sadly, couldn't go see a game in person here in Atlanta,
Mm.
or go up to New York to see a game, um, or go to Miami and see a game. You
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
because ticket prices were out the ass, and to
Yeah.
act,
I can
I
imagine.
know day of ticket prices were like 200, 100, and I was like, I'm not dropping $100 day, $200 day of, no matter how much I want to go.
Mm.
So yeah, hopefully, Women's World Cup is coming up. I'll catch a couple of those matches because I do. The U.S. Women's World Cup team is probably that, and the U.S. Men's Basketball team and Women's Basketball team are the three only American sports teams I will support in
Mm.
international events. Um, but yeah, yeah, I and then now it's back to, if you're American, back to MLS, or until, season hits back up again, European, you got your Euro League and La Liga. So, yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting to experience everyone kind of experiencing the World Cup in their own way.
Yeah.
Um, I think for my family, it was more just like, oh, the traffic is awful
Traffic. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
everything's closed down because like the World Cup. Um, but I also was amazed by like just how many people were like watching it in terms of the ratings, like the amount of like billions of people were like tuned into these games. And obviously soccer football is like a world sport. So like obviously everyone everyone else in the world is going to be watching it. But I
Yeah.
think the way that the Americans have like really adopted it because it's not I know it is becoming more like I think I've seen more people like go to actual soccer matches, but it's not like what it is in like England or something
No.
like that. Like it's definitely not. So to have it here and to have everyone like very excited about it, people traveling from around the world to come over here to watch it, I think it was really nice. It was like a uniting thing, especially because of everything else that's going on in the world. Like it
Yeah.
was nice to like have like this to just share with everyone. Everyone was excited about the food.
Yeah.
That was
I
cute.
loved watching Europeans and foreigners actually realize, oh, your country's big as hell in like real time. Because a lot of them were live tweeting their experiences. There's like
Hmm.
one story I love of a Japanese man going to a Mexican restaurant for the first time and getting like free water and salsa and chips. And he's like, I didn't pay for this. It's like, no, it's free. It's complimentary. He goes, oh really? And he said, yeah, he ate the whole. He ate. That's all he ate for the most of the time. He said he couldn't eat his food, and he's like, I had to eat the chips and salsa because I didn't want to be disrespectful because it's a social covenant. Because he gave me free food, I couldn't be disrespectful. So the man gorged himself on chips and salsa and couldn't eat what he actually ordered. You know, we had like for some reason, like I saw videos of like, and I know New York did let people know like if you're everybody knows for the most part, MetLife is not nowhere near the cities at all. It is in the middle of nowhere. Like there is like you got to take mass transit, and I saw videos of like people walking across those highways to
Which is
try and get
crazy.
to MetLife, and they're like, "Oh, America, you guys suck. Why is there no mass transit to this arena?" And everybody's like, "That arena is in the middle of nowhere. It's not in a city. Like all of our other arenas are in a city with mass transit. That is the only one in the middle. It's in swampland. That's why there's no mass transit there. You gotta take a train and a bus to get there. You know,
Honestly, my
yeah.
life sucks.
MetLife
Like I
sucks.
went there to go see Beyonce. It was
MetLife,
awful. Like it was
MetLife
actually
sucks.
terrible. It was so bad. And I mean, you can just imagine like the amount of traffic that New York City already has.
Yeah,
So for that to just be transported into East Rutherford, New Jersey, like it is just a mess.
yeah.
So for everyone who like took the time and the money to try to even go over there to see the games, props to you because I definitely wouldn't have done that.
No, for like the last month, I went nowhere near downtown at all.
Yeah.
At all. Like last 2 months, I told my home, but yeah, you're not gonna see me for 2 months, bro. I'm not coming to your place at all, bro. Like, no.
When I
No.
traveled, there was no World Cup game, so I was like, thank
Yeah.
God, because I could not have dealt with
Uh,
that. It's
yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, I've been talking for a long time, but have you seen anything over the last couple of weeks?
No, just watching House of the Dragon, of course.
Yes. Loving it.
Watching, of course, endless amounts of World Cup soccer or
Hmm.
football. And then for a couple of days, tangentially, I had a family reunion around Fourth of July weekend. So between that, World Cup, I didn't really watch any movies because I was entertained, like especially the first month of the World Cup. Honestly, there were games every day for the whole day,
Hmm.
so I was like, I am sated. Like I don't need to watch anything else. So yeah, I think now World Cup is done. You know, this is kind of the sports off season esque until basketball really starts up. Where I'm probably gonna dive full blown into watching, back on my movie tip or back on my TV stuff as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But yes, watching House of the Dragon, loving it.
yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Um, but I watched, did we talk about? Yeah, we did. I watched The Invite. That's the
Mm-hmm.
Olivia Wilde movie. Very good. I was surprised. Not that it was good, but just more surprised about like because she's directing and she's acting in it, and I think that she did a really good job at both. So that was interesting, and I love Penelope Cruz. I forgot how much I love that woman. Her and Javier Bardem. That's my power couple right there. They get be king and queen of America if you want to. Like they're great. Um, yeah, I already said I watched Obsession. I was watching Hacks with my friends. I didn't. I'm on season three. I don't think I'm gonna finish it. But speaking of Hacks, I think got like the most Emmy nominations for a comedy
Hmm.
this year, and so I guess whatever they're doing over there is good. It is a good show. I guess just season three is they're changing things a little bit, and it's weird to me. So I'm not loving it. So I
Hmm.
don't know if I'm gonna watch it anymore. But they're doing their due, and
Yeah, so there's
the
apparently coming a
what is it?
spinoff
The Pit.
for
Yeah, that also has
for
plenty of
Pitt called the Night
nominations.
Shift, and
So
I'm knowing how Night Shift kind of functions in a hospital. I know it's gonna be twice as crazy as a regular episode of the Pit, so I'm interested in seeing how that goes.
Yeah. I still can't work up the courage to watch that show, but I heard it's so good.
You got
So
you got to you got to.
maybe one day I'll watch it. But yeah, so I was watching that. What else? Oh yeah, I watched Empire Strikes Back. Finished
Hmm.
that. Uh, do I watch the last one of the trilogy? What's it called again?
Which one?
Clone. No, it's not Clone Wars. What is it? It's A New Hope. Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, Star Wars. You're back on your Star Wars kick.
Yeah. What's that? What's that last one though?
Oh, Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. I have not
Okay.
gone to that one yet. Someone said it wasn't good, so I don't
Mm.
know. But Empire Strikes Back was really good. So
No. You'll like it. You'll like it.
okay,
Hopefully you'll like it.
maybe.
So yeah,
Yeah. I've also been watching other people watch Love Island USA, but
I've heard crazy things about Love Island. It's a show I don't think I'd enjoy.
mhm.
Being 100%. I don't like ratchetness. Not even like not even like ratchetness in the negative sense. I just like for some reason the concept of Love Island, well, it doesn't work for me. Once again, I'm also not the target audience for that show, so that's probably why.
Yeah, I really wasn't into it for many years. And I'm not into it now. I'm not watching it. Like I was not watching it while it was airing at all.
Mhm.
Um, but I saw the winners and it's this white guy and this black woman. And then I guess the runner-ups to that was also another white guy and a black woman, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. So I was like, hmm, is this something that usually happens? It feels like this is a newer thing. I think the season before there was also a white man and like not just like they're biracial, like and dark skinned black women. I
Mhm.
was like, huh,
Huh.
this is interesting to me. What's this about?
It's a thing
I
there.
still haven't gotten to the bottom of this though. I don't know what the answer to that is, but
Mhm.
it piqued my curiosity. I was just like, oh, I haven't seen this, and especially not in mainstream media, haven't like really seen that. So, huh?
Look, if I'm on Love Island, I'm gonna just find the person I vibe with because the concept of finding love in that short time frame makes no sense to
Not
me.
real.
I'm like,
Yeah.
look, I'm be like, look, let's be realistic about it. I vibe, you vibe, but being to say we're in love after like a couple weeks is unrealistic. So why don't me and you we just buddy up? We do all the whatever
Yeah.
we do all over. We do the kissing and smooching people want, and we come up on we have a come up. We get the prize money as well, and
Mm-hmm.
we parlay it to later fame, and then whatever happens that happens after that, and you just ride it out. Like to go into those shows, like talk about like that, The Bachelor. I think in all the years of The Bachelor, only like one couple has remained married. They literally like divorce or break up like a month after the show. Like let's be real. Like you're going on TV for love. Let's
Yeah.
not.
No. Well, it's a very interesting like social experiment because these people are stuck on an island. Like they're stuck in Fiji. That's so far away from like anything else
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
weeks, and people are
Yeah.
watching them every single day and voting on them. Like that is a really crazy. I would lose my mind if I was there. I would be dead. I'm sure. Like
Oh, that's
I
why
would.
I'm saying if I'm in Fiji, to me, oh, we just gonna be friends and ride this stuff out, and I'm gonna enjoy my vacation, baby.
Yeah, it's to me, it's like open air cabin fever. It's like
Yeah.
you are going to lose your mind if you're on that show.
Yeah.
Like that's what it seems like to me, but I don't know. Anyways, it's been fun. It's been fun to see other people's commentary about it. But yeah, I think that's it. We've been talking for 2 hours. We hope that you all enjoyed this video. And we hope, I can't even remember what the outro is at this point. Let me think about it. It's been so long. We hope that you're all doing well and taking care of yourselves. Make sure to check out all of our social media, support us if you can, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.